going to go over the Peekaboo punch number system, which was created by Cus D'Amato. Each punch is assigned a number, but also each number and punch is assigned a specific target on your opponent. So let's start with the number 1. So out of your boxing Peekaboo stance, the number 1 is the lead hook. In most boxing styles or gyms, the lead hook is the number 3, but in Peekaboo it's number 1. The lead hook behind the jab is one of the most important punches in Peekaboo. So when I'm in my stance, the number 1 is that lead hook. Lead hook. I'm just gonna pivot on that foot, snap the shoulder. I like to throw the thumb up. My thumb's actually more at a 45, not completely up and not horizontal. So I'm here, number 1. You see how my body, from the toe all the way up to my shoulder, is one motion, one snappy motion, just like swinging a baseball bat or a golf club. So number 1, right there. That's the standard hook, number 1. Number 2 is gonna be that cross. Now this one has 2 different variations and I'll explain. The number 2 is you're gonna pivot on, kick that heel out, bring wherever the hands, remember the hands on your face, elbow in. I'm gonna rotate into my opponent, turn my knuckles down, my fist over, and bring it right back to my face. So the number 2, pivot, here. Remember, from my toe to my shoulder, one motion. Breathe out. Now the second variation of the number 2 is based on range. Once I'm closer to my opponent, I can't no longer hit him with that straight right to generate a lot of power. I'm gonna go to the right hook to the jaw. So I'm here, rotate, just like the lead hook, I'm gonna pivot on that rear foot, rotate into that number 2 hook. So I got the straight, I got the hook. That is the number 2. The number 3 is that lead uppercut. Anytime I do a lead hand shot, usually I will bring this shoulder forward, either rotating or in a slip. So it's Peekaboo, I'm gonna do more of a slip. So I'm in my stance, I'm gonna slip, and then I'm gonna drive that lead uppercut up with the hips. I'm gonna raise up on the toe. Raise up on the toe to drive in that uppercut. So I'm here, slip, elbow in, the hand drops to about waistline height, and then comes up. I drive up. I aim at the chest of my opponent and drive it up. So number 3, lead uppercut. I'm gonna slip, and then fire the uppercut. Slip, and I snap the shoulders, snap the hips. Number 4 is the rear hand uppercut. Remember, I don't just fire an uppercut from here. I usually slip. I crouch or slip. So I slip, hand drops to the waistline, and drive it up. I pivot on that foot, but I drive my hips into my punch. So again, slip, drive. Slip, drive my hips. That's the number 4, which is the rear uppercut. The number 5 is that lead hook to the body. Now there's 2 variations of this, okay? Same thing, I wanna slip, I'm gonna load. I can come up at a 45, elbow out, up to the body. I'm gonna go to the liver. So I'm gonna slip, up. Another variation is you can slip and bring it more horizontal to the body, okay? I found in my experience that I like to come up a little more than come in more horizontal. So when I'm here, I slip and come up, or I can slip and come rotate into it, and I kick that heel out. So that is the number 5. Now the number 6 has 2 punch variations. The first one's gonna be that straight right to the body. So I'm gonna drop down, rotate that cross to the body, number 6. So I'm here, I'm gonna drop down, pivot on that rear foot, and drive into my opponent's body, keeping this hand up. So number 6, drop down, up. Drop down, up. Also, the 6 can be a body hook, okay? It can also, I can rotate into that body hook. Body hook. Now, there's several different hand variations. I can go thumb up, I can go at a 45, or I can do more horizontal. Whichever one feels more comfortable for you, okay? So usually if I'm going from the outside to the inside, I step more at a 45. But if I'm in close to my opponent and I get to the side, I come up with it more. So on the outside, hook to the body, I step, drop, and rotate. You saw I do that? Step out, when I drop, I rotate into that. When I'm in close to my opponent, I cut that outside angle with my slip and then come up with the body hook. That is the number 6. The number 7 is the jab, standard jab. Remember I showed 4 variations of the standard jab, but we're just gonna work on the jab. So number 7, I'm gonna step in, pop the shoulder, and then I can slip. Step in, jab, and slip. Number 7. And then I can do outside, standard, inside. Okay? And then number 8 is that body jab. So I get my head off, I drop my head to my waist, and drive in with the 8 to the body. Making sure I'm stepping in. Now the different targets, each punch, each number has a target assigned to it. So the number 7, the jab, is I like to jab target the nose. If you can drive in the knuckles into the nose or the eyes, you can help blind your opponent. The number 2, well actually we'll go number 1 now, that left hook is to the jaw, normally to the back base of the jaw. All right, number 2, if it's a straight right, it goes right to the point of the chin, right down the pipe. If it's the hook, you go to the back of the jaw. Number 2. Number 3, obviously an uppercut comes up under the jawline. Number 4, same thing, up under the jawline. Number 5, liver shot. Liver shot. You're gonna come for that liver. The best way to find a liver is when they're in their side fighting stance, their elbows on their side, that liver is that little pocket below the lat, right back there. If you can get that right under there with that liver shot. So number 5 is to the liver. Number 6 has 2 targets. All right, technically if I throw a straight right, I can aim for the solar plex, or I can aim for the spleen. The spleen is on the left-hand side of the body. Same thing with the hook. If my opponent turns his back, I can 6 to the kidneys, but that's illegal in boxing. Now, if you're just aiming for the body and they turn on their own and they get hit in the kidneys, that's their fault. You might get called on it though. Okay, and then the 8 is to the solar plex. The solar plex is, here's your chest bone, here's your abs. It's between your chest bone and the top of your abs. That little soft spot right there. If you can hit someone in this with a straight shot to the solar plex, man, you're gonna take the air out of them. So that is the Cus D'Amato punch number system. Let's just do a quick review. 1, left hook to the head. 2, straight right, right hook to the head. 3, lead uppercut to the jaw. 4, rear uppercut to the jaw. 5, lead hook to the liver. 6, rear hook to the spleen, or straight drop down, straight right to the body. 7, jab to the nose or the eyes. And then finally 8 is jab, body jab to the solar plex.